Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. If you notice, the camera is downwards in a very particular setting. That's because I'm using my phone tripod that I use for my car. I'm gonna get another one where I can actually put it like mounted on top so it looks a little more leveled. But I'm just in the midst of doing a couple things, so I just wanted to record this video while I had the time. Because I had the thoughts kind of percolating in my head a couple hours ago, and I kind of want to let them out before I forget anything. But we're going to be driving as well, so just excuse the all the noises, or if you see my hand, getting into frame like that. I will do my best to not for you guys to see me. But I wanted to talk about something that Jennifer Aniston brought up, which has a lot to do with the current state of movie stars, and the title of movie star. Is that still a thing, or is that not a thing? Like, where is that now? And I think that sorry, you're probably not going to see my face, but just listen to my voice. It's an interesting, well, not really that interesting, but it's notable because, people used to label certain people as movie stars. And I feel like, thankfully, that conversation is now dead, because Jennifer Aniston is correct in saying that movie stars are dead. There really is no more movie stars, and thankfully so. The last time that we really had a movie star of any kind, I would say, was probably back in the 90s. And I think that the reason for it was because we were so oblivious as to how the business was. No one really had, we had ideas, obviously, and murmurs of things that happened. And there were obviously things that had happened behind the scenes. I think like a notable one, like River Phoenix, him passing the way that he did. There are obvious things that happened, but it wasn't so notable back then. Also, by association, the term movie star, let me put this down. I always gave it to like action heroes, and I feel like back then that's what it was too. It wasn't for dramatic actors or Oscar-winning performers or whatever, or auteurs. Like, if anyone was a movie star back then, if you're going to give them that type of stature, it would have to be someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Tom Cruise, more notably, because they were all about that particular genre, and they were also just so in the public eye that that just seeing a poster for Terminator, you automatically know who that person is, or just seeing a poster for Top Gun, you know immediately who that person is. And they have become that. That is what they are. They are action guys, and they are in demand in a certain respect. And that's what kind of became what, like, the definition of a movie star almost, is like that in demand figure. But I always gave it to like action heroes. That's where I've always felt the association lied. It never lied with like auteurs or anything like that. That's why, you can name a bunch of other people from the 90s, like Tom Hanks, Morgan Freeman, other big names, but those weren't movie stars. They were actors. They were really good actors, very notable actors, a lot of actors that people really knew, but not movie stars. And ever since then, outside of, I would probably say Dwayne Johnson, who's probably like the closest to like a movie star that we've probably had in the modern era, because he's always doing the same shit, and he's always acting as the action heroine. Again, because that's how I associate movie stars, like by action type genre. Outside of him, there's those people do not exist anymore. And thank God that they don't, because movie star is so egotistical, and it's just such a strange place to put a performer, you know? Like, I like where we're at now, where they're just actors, you know? They're just actors and actresses. We don't have to put the movie star or whatever. We still put the bullshit like, oh, new upcoming rising star. That's the new one, the rising star, which is the equivalent of saying that this is the only real thing that you're probably going to do in your career, and it's all downhill from here. You know, I think that it also gives a good illustration of the times, because now we're so knowing of how the business is, you know, and with knowing how the business is, coming out of, like, you know, the whole Weinstein situation, which, by the way, Hollywood, even to this day, was poor in how they handled that whole situation. But seeing all that, you know, I think that the whole idea of what a movie star is, I think, thankfully, has been stripped away, and we don't have to, like, associate people with that anymore. And Jennifer Aniston, I think, made it like a weird point. She's like, there are no more movie stars, you know. And she make it like kind of like a sad point. I think it's a great thing. I'm really happy that we don't have any movie stars anymore. Like I said, maybe Dwayne Johnson, just because of his demand and just again the type of content that he always puts out. But you know, I'm relieved. I'm relieved that it's dead. And I think that it really did die in the 90s, you know, because that's really where I've seen that term be used the most, and it was actually had some credibility to it, you know, as well, because also the quality of the films were much better, you know. I don't think anyone's gonna say. I mean, I favor the first Terminator over the second one, but I do enjoy Terminator 2. I don't love Top Gun, but I know that it has a big following. Like, these are films that, you know, people really appreciate, you know, and they're ingrained into, like, pop culture. There's not a single film that I can think of from the 2010s era that, besides, like, maybe, like, The Dark Knight, I think. Yeah, maybe, like, just The Dark Knight, that has really instilled into our pop culture, you know? That is, like, and I'm talking about mainstream content. I don't know any other film, really, besides The Dark Knight, that has, like, really made an impact on the culture, or has really, like, put their little spot, you know. Or, as to our conversation, I don't know any individual that has ever made an impact onto such culture, or has put themselves in such a high tier, you know. I've not seen that in the 2010s, and I am very glad that we will continue not to see that going into the next decade, because it's just so unnecessary. I want to see good performances, and I don't give a shit who they are. If you're a newcomer, hope you rock it. If you're an oldie, then, you know, show me what you got. Like, you know, it's just an ego thing, like, and by association, it's just for action people, and, you know, really, at least from the 90s, it was not Dwayne Johnson, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tom Cruise, really, that I think were the last true movie stars. And now it's just like, you know, now it's just actors and actresses, because I feel that we are now more familiar with how that business is, and it's not good. And I think that's what's awakened. I think that's what stripped away a lot of the glamour that we have put towards Hollywood, you know, movie stars or this and that, you know, like all that crap that we had back then, which I believe ended in the 90s. It's not there anymore, because we have now most of us have awakened to what Hollywood truly is, which is this very corrupt, narcissistic, and very disgusting place that I have no desires to go to. I've said it multiple times on this channel. I have no desires to go to Hollywood. I used to when I was a kid, but now, coming out of the whole just, doing more research and just more or less just, even though Hollywood did fuck up with the whole Weinstein thing, it was such an eye opener to just so many things, beyond, the Weinsteins. It was so much came out, and it just really put Hollywood in perspective, and just, really showed how really just gross that industry is to a degree. It's not as bad as, say, other industries that I can mention, but like the music industry, which is just fucked. But um, but it's not in good shape. So Tarantino has some merit in what he's saying when films that lately have been kind of crap. I can kind of give that also in terms of talking about industry in general. It's been kind of a rough past few years. Um, and I'm glad that the glamour that was the movie star and other aspects have been stripped away, because I like seeing it for what it is. I don't buy into all the bullshit that Hollywood likes to throw every so often. I don't. I like to just see right through that and see the person for who they are. And as of late, they've been trying to hide, and they've been failing. So, and I'm glad, because I like to see people for who they are. And from what I've seen, Hollywood is just a big mess, and I am very glad that I gave up on that dream. I still like doing filmmaking, but obviously it's like in a different context now. But yeah, the movie star thing is, I'm so glad it's over with, because that was such an ego thing, and also such a glamour thing. That was just wholly unnecessary, Now we just have actors and actresses, which is what it always should have been, Because would anyone want their career to be like glamorized, or would they want to be given the credit, where credit's due? Like, wouldn't you want to build your career based on really good performances, or would you want to build your career based on doing one specific thing, Because that's what movie stars are. They're not doing multiple projects at once. Or he's doing a gripping drama, or he's doing this and that. No, they're always doing the same crap. Hence why they get that title. That's why Dwayne Johnson is considered a movie star, because he does the same shit every single time. It's the same crap. Same CGI action fest. It's the same thing. I mean, he's literally working with the same directors, so that's why Tom Cruise and Arnold Schwarzenegger were also considered movie stars, because they were doing the same crap after they landed a big hit. After Top Gun, what did Tom Cruise do? Days of Thunder, literally the same fucking movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, what did he end up doing? He ended up doing like Batman and Robin, or I think he went directly to do Terminator 3 or whatever. I think he did like what's that one movie? Last Action Hero. Just Kindergarten Cop. Like, it's just always the same scenarios. Put the big fucker in an action sequence. Like, that's what it is. That's all that amounts to. With what it considers to be a movie star, basically. Put the sexy hunk or the big fucker in an action sequence. That's it. That's really it. I'm glad we're past that era. I mean, we have it with Dwayne Johnson still, but thankfully it's dying, and it's basically been dead. So hopefully it keeps it that way. So that's my thoughts on the movie star thing. It's been dead for a long time. Like I said, the last bit would be like Dwayne Johnson, but it's been dead for a long time. Thankfully, it's been dead for a long time. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that is going to be it for me. I'm going to go pick up my brother now, because I'm out of school. But you guys let me know the idea of a movie star. What do you guys consider to be a movie star? Do you think it's one genre? Do you think it's multiple genres? Do you think it's based on the performance? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll get a better setup next time we do this in the car. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video.